What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the Money Car Grand National Series here on NBC. We are at Portland, getting ready to kick things off yet again, as this town of Grand National boys are the only ones going to this unique racetrack in Portland, Oregon during the week, as this weekend will be an off weekend for the Grand National guys. Chris Mack is your pole sitter. He's been very dominant on the road courses this season in his part-time starts. 26 Todd Cleaver starting P2. Edwards, Franchitti, Kyle Busch rounding out your top 5, and Eric Darnell starting to his left side. The green flag is waving. We're racing at Portland. And a recently renovated Portland at that, as you see, is no longer just a concrete barrier at the end of turn 1. There's some runoff room, so if these guys overshoot into turn 1, they'll have space to avoid any potential injury. There were talks of just flat out removing, as we ride on board with Franchitti here, flat out removing the chicane. That obviously wouldn't have been a good idea either. They went ahead and renovated this place, added some new curbing, created some space in some areas, lined it out a little bit as Chris Mack heads through the final couple of corners off through the grass, using every bit of the racetrack here through the final turn. Absolutely sent it through there into the final turn. And now heading down the front straightaway. Field going by. These cars are very quiet. Forgot how this. Oh, I have the wrong sound pack in. Hold on. All right, and we're back. Had to fix the sound pack, and back to what I was saying. As Todd Cleaver continues to run second. Field back here, navigating their way through turn 1. No worries about piling into a barrier, so they can be way more aggressive in the turn 1. As we've seen in the past, drivers getting stacked up, having nowhere to go other than straight into a wall if they overshot. So drivers would get stacked up using the cars in front of them as a reference point, and it would cause chaos in turn 1, but luckily this time it seems they've cleaned it up quite a bit. Chris Mack not using up quite as much of the grass. I can't even English. Not using quite as much of the grass as he did last lap there, but he used a little bit. And look at Dario Franchitti now under pressure from Carl Edwards, trying to fight for third. Franchitti's having a great run here today. Something about these road courses, man. He seems to really light it up out here. Unfortunately, he's gonna fall back just a little bit, as here comes Eric Darnell on the 60 of Edwards. Now this section of the track, being one of the main ones that is kind of been redone. As you see, it's been extended rather than just immediately exiting the S's right into this high-speed zone. There's a little bit more of a breakaway, so it's less of a rough transition as we ride through here on board with Ryan Newman. You see, it's a smoother transition as they head through there. Last year it was just right over a curve and into that zone, but this year they've changed that, and it's a lot smoother through there. Drivers not having to check up or whatnot, and drivers able to absolutely launch it through the chicane, turns 1 and 2 and 3. Now Chris Mack, who's running away with this one yet again, seemingly found a new level of patience in his time here. Running part-time starts for Joe Nemechek's team, Nemco. 97. Max is trying to get whatever starts he can in the series as he heads through the final couple of corners. Yet again, look at all these drivers getting out, kicking up the dust in that final turn, just barely getting their tires on the grass, pushing as hard as they can through that corner as we watch more drivers go through it there. Oh, the 47, way wide that time. Back up front. It's a big gap with the leaders, but a battle brewing behind, as there are multiple drivers that feel like they are faster than the car ahead of them, and they're all trying to mount a run. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Oh, and welcome back to Portland. We are under caution for the first time today, as honestly, I'm not sure what it's for. So let's go back and take a look. I think it might be for the 87 of Blaney for Brown Racing. No, it's not Blaney. Dave Blaney's in the clear, I believe. Oh, yep, final turn. Blake Borkland went off, and Mark Martin off the track with him there in the 06. Very unfortunate. 27 just kind of overcooked it there. Or excuse me, the 06 with the 27 behind him just kind of overcooked it there. So did the 28. Martin gets away relatively unscathed as he drove into the wall again. Relatively undamaged compared to Blake Borkland. Chris Mack puts the 33 of Ron Hornaday Jr. a lap down, or excuse me, Kevin Harvick this week, a lap down. Green flag back in the air, 3 wide. Look at Dario Franchitti on the inside, trying to make the dive into turn 1, can't quite get there. Todd Cleaver's going to clear for the race lead out of the first corner. Or first chicane, rather. Here comes Chris Mack, though, hard back on the gas, trying to get back underneath that 26 car. Cleaver shuts the door on him. And now behind, side by side for P3. Edwards out wide, trying to defend. He's got the inside lane into this next left-hander. Oh, Cleaver got a little sideways, pushing as he went a little wide through that corner there. Aggressive back to the throttle, almost spun the tires, did actually spin them a little bit, but still holding on to the position, holding off Chris Mack here in the 97. The 97, aggressive into the braking zone, trying to get underneath. Can he get that nose in there? No, not quite. Mack trying to get back to the lead as quickly as possible here. He's not going to be able to lead this lap. Todd Cleaver's going to lead that one. He led the previous lap as well, as he got the good jump on the restart, and the caution's out yet again. Multiple cars off the racetrack. Cale Gale is one of them. Curtis Davis, and there was a car in the tire barriers, I believe. Multiple cars off the racetrack. Let's see what happened here. Chaos on this restart. 33. Slow, already a lap down. Not sure why he restarted at the front of the field. And race control may have some explaining to do with that one. But the 77 gets into the back of Curtis Davis. Davis kind of ran wide a little bit there. Tried to get back stay on the racetrack rather. The 77 also ran a little wide, and they just kind of met on the curb, getting together, and around they go. Bang, hard hit into the concrete for Curtis Davis. And who's this up here eating the tires in the final turn? It's Ryan Newman. Newman trying to have some fun at a track that used to be on the MG Cup schedule. It's not anymore. And unfortunately, finds the grass and can't get back out of it. Boom. Right into the tire barrier. Hard. hard enough to take him out of the race. So 3 cars in trouble on the restart there. We're going to dive back into it. Green flag back in the air. 3 wide yet again as Carl Edwards makes the lunge into turn 1 this time. Oh, but over the curves, Chris Mack retakes the lead with a great jump to stay alongside Cleaver. He's going to clear him off into turn 1, or turn 3 rather. Kyle Busch tried to get up there as well, couldn't quite. Now trying to defend against Carl Edwards. Edwards is going to clear on the inside. No, he's not. Busch back on the left-hand side, dives back in, and he's going to clear Edwards. Now down into the extended straight into the right-hander. Again, you can see just how much smoother it is, but also how much faster this straightaway is going to be after that change. Chris Mack deep into the braking zone. Todd Cleaver right there behind, as everybody uses every inch of this racetrack to their advantage. Watching Tony Raines. Oh, Brendan Gaughan wide behind him. Here comes the 21 to the inside is Bobby Labonte. Oh, and one just hit the tire barrier is Kevin LePage. Heavy damage, but no caution. He's right there at the beginning of pit road. He'll be able to enter the pits here, and let's see what happens. Oh, just gets out wide and can't get back onto the pavement, and also goes right into the tire barrier, destroying the front end of that 61 car. So LePage out of the race, most likely. Another car on pit road, and he just hit the... Yeah, that car wouldn't turn. He hit the butt end of the pit wall as well. Mark Martin is going to be out of the... or exiting... Mark Martin's coming out of the pits. LePage is going to be out of the race, but still green as Chris Mack continues his road course domination here from Portland. He's won at Road America. Just been very fast all around. Competed in the MG Cup Series at Sonoma. Ran up inside the top 5 there. Now looking to win another one here from Portland. Won at Montreal as well. Another last lap, last turn pass. That was barely legal. The caution's out yet again. Not sure what it's for, but it is out. We're getting close to our race distance. Actually, it was 2 to go at the time of the caution, so that'll definitely shake things up, as we'll be attempting something different here. A new possible rule change that'll be full time for the future. For now, it's just a kind of an experimental thing with late race cautions on road courses. But we'll be trying a 1-lap shootout, I believe. The green-white checkers. Actually, I do believe. I don't even remember the original race distance. I can't even lie to y'all. So we'll just have to wait and see. We might just have a regular green-white checker, and let's see who it is. It's Brett Rowe that went out wide and just couldn't get back on the asphalt. Into the tires he goes, and luckily that it is tire barrier now. So there used to not be a barrier there at all, but which I don't believe so. But with the addition of that drag strip back there, or seemingly a drag strip, that extra bit of pavement back there, they felt the need to barrier that off, or block that off with a barrier. Anyways, yeah, we will be trying out that new rule, a single lap to end things off, as we had a lot of confusion further back in the pack on who was lining up where. Looks like they're trying to sort that out now. Still not quite able to. As Kyle Busch looks like he's going to be second here on his restart, but they're still not lined up. Busch might have just cost himself a potential win there. I'm not sure who's supposed to be where, but the green flag is out. We're racing, 1 lap to go here from Portland. All kinds of confusion. Look at him, 4 wide back here, down into turn 1. Michael Annett with a deep dive into the first chicane. Cars are all over the place. They're bumping, rubbing against each other, but luckily we're going to keep it straight. Chris Mack drives away, uses that to his full advantage as he slips through. Kyle Busch trying to hang on to second for now as Eric Darnell challenges from behind, right on his rear bumper. And here's the 26 of Todd Cleaver as well. He fell back to 4th. He's trying to fight his way back up to P3 or maybe even P2. Looks like he might have a shot at Eric Darnell, his teammate here in that 6 car. The 97. Long gone, heading down into the final couple of turns. Yet again, for the final time in this race, Chris Mack through the lefts and rights. Final right-hander, Chris Mack is going to win yet again on another road course in the Grand National Series, this time at Portland International Raceway. Chris Mack is your winner. And we got a caution. Big wreck in the back as the 87 of Blaney is around. Kelly Byers with him as well. I believe there may have been more involved. We'll have to check in on that. But Chris Mack is your winner. Let's see what happened to Blaney and Byers. And then the braking stuff. Oh, man. A lot to unpack right there. So the 32 of Jacques Villeneuve, the racing legend from Formula One and other open wheel racing. Villeneuve checks up to avoid potentially wrecking himself because he was way on the inside. Not a good angle into the corner at all underneath Cale Gale. Decided to back out, but was way off the pace to where Kelly Byers tried to check up to avoid running into him, and the 1 of Landon Castle just drove right through that 47 car. And he's sitting there in the middle of the racetrack, cars going through the dirt, trying to get by. Boom, Blaney gets into him. And then he gets hit by the 11 of Scott Lagasse Jr. And that's going to spin that 87 car as well. So not a big crash, just lots of dust everywhere on that final lap. But that's going to do it. Chris Mack, as we said, is your winner. Wins yet another race here on another road course. Continuing his road course dominance, and he will be back for Watkins Glen as well. So that is going to do it. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe. I hope to see y'all next time. Until then, peace.